Hello, everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Duncan Scott exclusive. Rory McIlroy's Masters win, just pure history. One of the most successful Team GB Olympians of all time, 8-time medalist Duncan Scott, spoke to Olympics. At the first British Swimming Championships of the new Olympic cycle, newly inspired by McIlroy's iconic sporting moment just days earlier. That's probably one of my favorite sports moments ever, enthused Duncan Scott when Olympics. Spoke exclusively to the 8-time Olympic medalist at the Aquatics GB Swimming Championships, formerly the British Swimming Championships, at the London Aquatic Centre. The 2-time Olympic champion was referring to the moment a few days earlier when Rory McIlroy finally won the Masters to complete the golf career Grand Slam. "I'm so glad I stayed up to watch it," said Scott, who is set to compete in an Olympic medalist showdown in the final discipline of the British Championships, the men's 200-meter freestyle, on Sunday, April 20th. The clash also features James Guy and Matt Richards, two of his 3 teammates from Paris 2024, who defended Team GB's men's 400-meter freestyle relay title from Tokyo 2020. The Glaswegian was not the only one to stay up late into the night in the UK on Sunday, April 13th. Scott joined 1.85 million people in watching the iconic sporting moment play out live on TV from the Augusta National Golf Club in Georgia, USA, the most watched day in Sky Sports history. McIlroy was on the verge of becoming one of just 6 golfers to achieve a career Grand Slam, and so the golfing world, indeed the whole sporting community, was willing on the Irish athlete to complete the set after winning the previous 3 majors by 2014, aged 25. Now 35, McIlroy had been tormented by the beautifully manicured Augusta course ever since. A first outing in 2009 was followed by an infamous heartbreaking capitulation 2 years later, and again in 2018. Yet McIlroy kept coming back for more, finally securing the win in a playoff against Justin Rose, following a late surge by the Englishman that led to a tie after the initial 18 holes were completed. The moment the ball dropped on the first hole of the playoff, McIlroy let go of his putter, fell to his knees, and wept as the crowd roared both on the course and those watching on the television. Duncan Scott on Rory McIlroy and Justin Rose Masters playoff thriller. Scott was in London, preparing for the first national championships of the new Olympic cycle, but this was one sporting moment the huge sports fan could not miss. "I had to just watch it all, to be honest," the 4-time world champion told Olympics.com. "Fortunately, I wasn't racing day one, and as you say, I'm a massive sports fan, but it's just that resilience, and not only on the day itself." That was his 11th attempt. "I can empathize a little bit with it, obviously not to any extreme, and the pressure that he goes under is astronomical, but I just thought it was amazing. That's just pure history, and you could just see him more relieved rather than anything at the end." For Scott, the relief born of achieving a long-held dream came first at Rio 2016, when he secured his first Olympic medal with silver in the men's 400-meter freestyle relay alongside Stephen Milne, Daniel Wallace, and James Guy. A second silver in the men's 400-meter medley relay was his a few days later. His first Olympic gold came courtesy of an upgrade in the 400-meter relay at Tokyo 2020, with an additional 3 silver medals added from Japan, including a first individual gold in the 200-meter free, followed by the same in the 200-meter medley. Paris 2024 saw Scott part of the team that defended the relay title, plus a second 200-meter medley silver. The swimmer is only too aware of the pressures of high-level sport, having won more Olympic medals than any other Scot, although he would be the first to cite Chris Hoy's track cycling tally of 6 gold and 1 silver as the lead example. So for one of GB's greatest ever Olympians to say, "That's probably one of my favorite sports moments ever," is quite the accolade. It definitely needed something incredible to disrupt Scott's disciplined preparations for the national championships. It's that balance, isn't it? I mean, I'm here to swim well, and I'm focused to swim well, but that's such a special moment of history, and I'm such a big sports fan, he said. I thought he'd tie it up pretty early, to be honest. It was like the 12th or 13th hole, and I was like, I'll go to bed soon. And then Rose starts going on an absolute heater, and then Rory hits it in the water, and then obviously it goes to the playoff, and I'm like, I have to keep watching. As much as he was rooting for McIlroy, Scott could appreciate Rose's epic endeavors in the final round, which included 10 birdies to erase a 7-stroke deficit to McIlroy. It's the exact same story for Rose, said Scott, laughing at himself for his poolside golf punditry. He won back-to-back seconds at majors, his third second at Augusta, and he won the Olympics with Team GB. I think that was really cool, him being a part of Team GB, because he really soaked up and embraced the experience, said Scott of the 2013 US Open major winner, who took the first opportunity to compete at the Olympic Games when golf returned at Rio 2016 after a 112-year hiatus. McIlroy was one of those who competed at Tokyo 2020 and Paris 2024, finishing 4th and 5th, respectively. I think golfers do that now. But in 2016, loads of them decided to turn it down, and Rose really embraced it, which is really cool to see, he continued. I'm a huge fan of his as well. I think he's 4-4 and he just keeps coming in, and then back-to-back seconds at the majors now. It's really cool. As Scott eyes his own ongoing journey, which involves aiming for a 4th Olympic Games, he acknowledges that the Olympic cycle is now back on track after the disruption of the past 2 editions due to COVID-19, but there's no taking it easy for the 27-year-old. You don't want to take your foot off the gas. You don't want to get complacent. You start doing that, you'll start going backwards in the world, and it's so competitive at the minute as well, he said. So it can be a year of exploring things and trying out different ideas and different techniques and different strategies, perhaps, or new events like the 200 fly. So definitely a year for learning, that's for sure, but definitely not for getting complacent. Spoken like a true sporting great. Please subscribe the channel, share this with a friend, thank you.